Hello, good evening, and welcome to Thingamajig's Racing Channel. We are here for round 10 of the Over the Hill Racing and their Manufacturers Cup, ladies and gentlemen. We are at Watkins Glen. I had to do that from memory because I didn't write that one down. I just had to think, what does that one look like? At Watkins Glen. In the Group 3s, the Manufacturers Cup, they swap from Group 4s to Group 3s last round. We were in the Group 4 cars of their manufacturer, their chosen manufacturer, and now we are in the Group 3s for an endurance race. That's 25 laps here of grueling racing, ladies and gentlemen. It's a tough track, and the penalties are real if they've got them turned on. But yes, you can go amiss quite easily into a wall or going wide at this track. It's that kind of track. Right, we have a championship table to read out. 10 rounds these guys have been slugging, well, 9 rounds, sorry. They've been slugging it out for. God, I better double check. That is not a. Yeah, no, I nearly read you out the table, wrong table. I nearly spoilt it for everyone. Good golly, Miss Molly. I nearly read you the table for the end of this one. Let me go back. Here we go. Wow. That was close. So here we go then. Definitely after 9 rounds and not 10. We are. Right then. At the top of the table, ladies and gentlemen, is Amtrak in his Porsche. He's on 147 points. Chasing him down is Pigsy in the Ferrari on 139 points. That's very close, isn't it? That's 8 points betwixt the two of them. Duffman is in third on 120 points. Got a lot of ground to make up, but he's more than man enough to do it. In fourth, we have Danny LaRusso with 94 points. Still in with I think there's 2 rounds to go after this round, so still plenty of points to grab. And then we have Buggy in fifth on 93 points. Sixth is Matteo, he's not been around for the last 2 rounds. He's on 78 points, so he's made life very difficult for himself. Flinch is in 7th on 72 points, catching him up with Medium GT just behind in 8th on 71 points. And Medium GT, we've seen, has been going great guns of late, and he'll be gunning for the Ferrari driver, Medium GT, in the Nissan. Then we have Oban in 9th place on 65 points. He's piloting the Renault, and he should just get an award for that alone. In 10th, we have Jonty on 64 points, and missing 3 rounds so far this season. I don't know how many rounds they drop, but 64 points is quite a leap for him to get up to the sharper end of the table. In 11th, we have Kilroy on 63 points. Kilroy, everything to fight for in the Ferrari, and it's a Ferrari dogfight against Jonty. In 12th, we have the Rudes in his Corvette on 54 points. A man that regrets sticking with that Corvette. Orgasmic Cry in 13th on 45 points, gunning for the Rudes. And he's missed a couple of rounds, 3 rounds also. So I don't know if they drop rounds at the end, he'll gain some positions possibly. Up a million in 14th on 42 points, has only taken part in 3 rounds. And then we have Gaz in 15th on 38 points, whom has taken part in 4 of the 10 rounds. Busy times for some of these guys. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the showdown. We are coming in with it. These guys have got 3 more rounds, and there's still a lot of points out there for championship positions. So we've got a lot of pilots out there that are revved up and eager to get it on. So let us have a brief look at the grid before commencing 25 laps. Oh, the rules. The top 6 of that table, they had to qualify on the hard tyre, with the rest qualifying on the softs. And the rules are all 3 compounds of tyres, the racing soft, the racing medium, and the racing hard, are available for our guys. I should have written down what they were starting on. That was my fault, and we will go back and have a look after the grid walk. All 3 compounds are available, but softs and mediums must be used mandatorily. Mandatorily, the medium and the soft must be used during the race, but they can use the hard if they fancy. Right. The grid, and I forgot to write down their tyres, what they're starting on, so we'll go back and look. In the chat, we've got the Duff Man saying, afternoon thingy, hope you're well. I am good, my friend, I am good. I am amped for this. On pole then, ladies and gentlemen, the Gazman, and when he returns, ladies and gentlemen, he does return. So, the Gazman on pole. Wow. It was such a strong lap, it made me lose my breath. I choked, ladies and gents. So, the Gazman... He's not Gazman, he's just Gaz, isn't he? I don't know why I'm calling him the Gazman. Gaz doing an absolutely superb job in the name of Scotland. They might be able to take whatever, I don't know. I've never watched the Mel Gibson film about the Scottish, but they can't take their freedom. That's the short note of it all. Oh, they can take our land and they can take something else, but they can never take our freedom. And Gaz is proving that now. Look at him on pole. Ray's back in the chat saying, hello, Thingy. Why, hello, my friend. And Andrew is also there saying, hi, Thingy. Good to see you again. Always a pleasure. So that's pole sorted out. I've spent 10 minutes on it. Quoted badly from a famous movie. Shall we move on? Does anyone know Gladiator quotes? Orgasmic cry. Ladies and gents, orgasmic cry. Oh, my word. I am Spartacus. You know, this is a turnaround of turnarounds. The McShady of orgasmic cry up there on the front row. And can we hope for a win for our favourite pilot, orgasmic cry? I love the fact that I have to say orgasmic cry in every stream. It's amazing. So orgasmic cry on the front row, ladies and gentlemen, in second place. That is a qualifier and a half. I am ooh, come on, orgasmic cry. I'm rooting for you, man. I'm rooting for you. In third place, it's Medium GT, and he wants to mess it up for the guys ahead of him in his Nissan. That Nissan, has it got the grunt down these straights to really put the pressure on the Porsche and the Mercedes? Sorry. Fourth place, ladies and gentlemen, is Jonty in the Widowmaker. Jonty, I'd say, is he going to go for it? But I'm sure there is a spin. Like, remember, his team, they account for a 20-second spin in each race. No, it's not fair. The car is an absolute handful. So I jest about the spins, but I honestly don't think in one way or another it's Jonty's fault at all. I just think he is driving a car that tends to change its mind mid-corner. So there we go. The Ferrari, though, doing a great job in qualifying in fourth. Fifth, ladies and gentlemen, my favourite manufacturer on the grid is the Renault. And I tell you what, it's the Group 4 one I don't mind. It's a bit slow, but it's stable. This one, this mofo, is it the RS? Is that the one? Is that you? I have nightmares about this car. I remember early days of Gran Turismo. I bought it on their recommendation for one of their races, and I just could not get, I think it was Trail Mountain, I could not get that thing round for one lap. It was all over the shop. The back end wanted to meet the front end on a regular basis. But our man Oban has controlled it nicely this season. He has been consistent in points and is mid-table, and that isn't bad in a car I wouldn't recommend. So in sixth place then, Duffman, he had to qualify on those hard tyres, being in the top six of the table. And ladies and gentlemen, would you take a look? We're having a McLaren-style livery special. And he's revealing all his sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful stuff there from Duffman. I like it. I like the change. Seventh, also having to qualify on the hard tyres, it's Daniel's son, Daniel LaRusso, coming in late to the championship, but since hitting the ground has been running. And last round, I should have gone back. The chat was right, ladies and gents. They said I should have gone back to have a look what happened to Daniel LaRusso, because it was an almighty spin of spins, and it was beautiful. So I stole that from you, ladies and gentlemen, and I do apologise. But, yeah, Danny being hampered last round with a huge spin very early doors. And but qualifying on the hard tyres, he's ahead of people, so you can't complain, can you, on the hard tyres? Then we have, ladies and gents, he needs no introduction. It's the championship leader so far. It's Amtrak. Amtrak has had the solid season. He's been clever, ladies and gentlemen. He hasn't slung this Porsche into any scenery. He hasn't taken any risks. He has driven with Schumacher-style precision. He has driven with his brain as well as his balls. And yes, when brain meets balls, we have Amtrak, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere in the middle. His main contender in the championship, ladies and gents, in a tantruming Ferrari, we have Pigsy. Pigsy has been wrestling this darn car for 9 rounds, trying to stay with the Porsche of Amtrak. I'm not even telling you their positions now. That's 9th. And Matteo returns after 2 rounds away in the wilderness. He has gone for self-reflection, ladies and gents. He's met himself over again, and he's come back with a clear, crisp mind, starting from the back of the grid. It's Matteo. It's good to see him back, though. That's your grid, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, yeah, I said I was going to do a quick rundown on the tyres. So the Gaz is starting on the mediums, Orgasmic Cry starting on the softs, so that's going to be interesting. And there's a nice little straight before the first corner. Doubt the softs will be warmed up enough for Orgasmic Cry to get him to good use, but maybe through the next 2 or 3 turns, that swirly bit going uphill, he might be able to put some pressure on the Gaz. Orgasmic Cry then starting in second. Medium starting on mediums. Hey, how ironic. So medium, he's going for the tougher tyre, but slower at the start. Jonty starting on the mediums also, with Oban deciding mediums are the way to go. Orgasmic Cry at the moment, the only one opting for the softer, faster tyre. Duffman also on a set of mediums, with Danny LaRusso also on mediums. Then we've got Amtrak, set of mediums, with Pigsy, a set of mediums, and Matteo joining Orgasmic Cry as the odd one out on a set of soft tyres. Interesting. Right then, no more fluff, no more blah blah blah. It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the pilots to do their thing. And as Gaz leads them away, the hooters start. And we're away, ladies and gentlemen. 25 laps of Watkins Glen. It's going to be a tough battle, whatever way you look at it. Orgasmic Cry already knowing them soft tyres are going to come in any time soon. The heat will get into him, and he will be able to go on a full-out assault, ladies and gentlemen, on the Porsche ahead of him. Behind a medium GT, just controlling his race with the Jonty, who is hot on the brake. Just behind, the medium will know that. So here we go then, Orgasmic Cry going through the chicane, and Orgasmic Cry feeling pressure from medium. The Nissan picking up a lovely slipstream down the straight and getting all up and around the business end of Orgasmic Cry's McShady. And so far, Gaz holding on to the lead with those medium tyres. It is beautiful. Jonty still in 4th. We've got Oban in 5th. Duffman in 6th. We've got some movement here. Amtrak going for a move. Amtrak, he's going for a move on the Honda, ladies and gentlemen. Him and the LaRusso are going tete-a-tete, ladies and gents, side by side. But no, Amtrak dropping back in. The move was not on, and Danny LaRusso held strong. So here we go then, Orgasmic Cry now pulling away from the pack and hunting down his Gaz. And Gaz on those medium tyres, there's nothing he's going to be able to do soon as Orgasmic Cry gets into full swing mode, ladies and gents. Jonty under pressure from the Renault. The Renault looking very strong here at Watkins Glen. And can we see the Oban on the podium? That would be a joyous occasion for everyone in the club. And a well-liked pilot out there. Danny LaRusso there in 6th ahead of the Duffman. Duffman with that title championship still there. He still has chances, but he's got to make up some big points on Amtrak and the Pigsy. Matteo on those soft tyres, and like Orgasmic Cry, not getting the soft tyres into the action as early as I thought. We're on lap 2 already, and neither of the soft runners are being able to do something. Gaz having to go very defensive here against Orgasmic Cry. Orgasmic Cry, though, is going to sling McShady, and he's not ahead of the Gaz. He was unable to get past the Gaz, but he's very close now, and they've got a couple of corners where those soft tyres might come into action. Medium GT doing a superb job clinging onto the back of the McShady as the McShady comes in hard and heavy against Gaz. Gaz, though, driving impeccably at the front of the grid on the slower tyre and keeping himself very much in the chance of the win here. But Orgasmic Cry, his plan really does depend on him disappearing into the distance and gaining a lot of ground before his pit stop. Medium GT not able to stay with him. The slipstream for Orgasmic Cry. Oh, he goes a little wide though through turn 1. Is it? No, nowhere near turn 1. Sorry. This is why I try not to get too involved with the map. So Gaz, oh no, who's that? Jonty? Oh dear, big damage on the Jonts. Sorry, Jonts, we've got to go back a way to find it. And again, the Widowmaker, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, this is, yeah, he was still there in the fight, was Jonty. And, oh, no, not yet. A little bit wide, and there you go. She wanted to meet that barrier. And that puts Oban up, well, that puts everyone up in position. Great stuff for those. And again, Jonty and the Ferrari looking at the barrier. Oban under pressure from the Honda now. And the Honda is bringing a lot of noise with it, with Duffman, Amtrak, Pigsy, Matteo all in a line. Matteo on those softer tyres, but one wonders if he's just trying to keep them in, but stay with these guys. Is that his plan? Oban then, another look on, Daniel Russo, another look on the Renault ahead of him. And, ooh, the Renault looking very shaky there in the midfield. And this is what I don't like about the RS. It's a temperamental maiden, ladies and gents. She has a habit, like the Ferrari, to change her mind mid-corner. So Danny trying to chase down the Oban. Now medium, still staying, and Gaz then. So Orgasmic Cry's got through. I missed it, someone. Here we go. He'll be into the braking of the first corner then. So Orgasmic Cry, good lap time from him. Goes up the inside. And there's nothing Gaz can do about that, I don't think. He tries to stay around the outside with Orgasmic Cry, but Orgasmic Cry with those soft tyres, a slight advantage, and he's through. And now Gaz trying to grab himself a lovely toe as they come up through these corners, because he's got this long straight, and if he's in the slipstream, and we've seen he's braver on the brakes through the chicane than Orgasmic Cry, there is a chance, ladies and gents. Well, he's not quite taking the stream. No, he's not. I thought he was going to try and nip one on the Orgasmic Cry there, but look at the grip advantage Orgasmic Cry had through the chicane. And now Orgasmic Cry should, ladies and gentlemen, be running away and hiding. Medium GT, a force to be reckoned with in that Nissan. Is in third with Daniel LaRusso up to fourth, with Duffman in fifth. Oban slipping down, ladies and gentlemen. Oban losing 2 positions there to the Honda and the McShady. And has he done it for a race? I think it was a mistake. But so Danny in the Honda It's hunting down Medium now. Medium staying with the Gaz, who's trying to stay with Orgasmic Cry, whom is on those soft tyres. John T, we saw having an off, and he's got damage. Yeah, they have full damage on now. That's really put a spanner in the works here, ladies and gentlemen. Pigsy has slipped to the back of this pack. Matteo got through on his soft tyres and is the fastest man on track. Oban going wide, very wide, coming on the track with Matteo, and Matteo, oh, it was the slightest of touches, but it was enough to send Matteo into the scenery. OMG. And there we go. It looks like Amtrak with a penalty and slowing down to allow Matteo back through. So they both have a heavy hit there. And John T is saying, well, if this position's being given up, I am more than up for taking one. But he has got that damage, which I don't know how much it's costing him yet. Matteo then in 8th. Pigsy then now up into 7th, with Oban in 6th, chasing down the Duffman, who's picked himself up a penalty. And Danielson is in 4th, chasing down Medium, who's all up and about Gaz's business. And Medium then giving Gaz a few things to think about as Orgasmic Cry dips, ladies and gentlemen. He's bounced. And we're on lap 4 of 25. 21 laps still to go in this race. No pit stops. Oh, Gaz has had a damage. Gaz has got damage. He must have just glanced a barrier somewhere, and that has got to be lovely news for Medium. Medium must be coming in now and giving it some big balls, because he's got a limping Gaz ahead of him. Vodka Rob in the chat saying, good afternoon, sir. Why, hello, Vodka Rob. How are you on this fine day? So Orgasmic Cry then just about in the lead of this race, with Gaz hunting him down, but he's damaged. But he's pulled away from the Medium somehow, some way. So Gaz opening up the gap between himself and Medium. Danny LaRusso closing in on Medium now. Medium, oh, is it there? And Medium's done it as well. Medium's picked up a bit of damage. This is going to be a tough race for these guys. Daniel LaRusso up and into 3rd, and it's all about staying out the wall today, ladies and gentlemen. Duffman in 5th place, with Oban in 6th. So no change there. Pigsy is in 7th. Matteo up now. Oh, he's got damage at the back. It looks like he's been rear-ended, ladies and gentlemen, with Amtrak in 9th and John T in 10th. Oh my lord, a lot of limping cars out there, and they're sticking to their strategies though. They're carrying on with the damage. Orgasmic Cry, this could be an absolute classic here. Orgasmic Cry could rub their faces in it. He really could destroy the field. Gaz with that damage, trying to drive around it. I don't know, his best lap so far is a 48.3, and we'll see. We'll monitor the situation. 48.0 for Daniel Son last time out, and he is coming in hard with Medium, struggling with his damage. And Duffman then goes and gains a position, even though he's got a penalty. So he will possibly lose that position again when they get to the penalty area. Medium GT then under threat from Oban. No, he's back ahead of Duffman as Duffman pays his penalty, and Oban then with the momentum to get past the McShady, and Pigsy's going for a nifty. Pigsy was having an absolute try there. He was having a look up the inside to try and get Oban and Duffman at the same time, but it didn't pay off. And Medium GT then carrying the damage, still ahead of Oban. Daniel Son is hunting himself down a Gaz, who now seems to be catching back up with Orgasmic Cry, as Orgasmic Cry's tyres get to the end of their situation. Razorback saying, are you going to be showing the Friday Night Fun MX races? I'm still waiting for the replays of the trucks. And Nifty saying, hi Thingy, hope you're well, mucker. I'm good, man, I'm good. Yeah, no, the Friday night thing, people don't share the replays, man. I spent 40 minutes looking for some replays I don't think are even there, so still couldn't find them. So yeah, I don't know, unless we get really like tight on the replay situation. Yeah, I can't sit there all afternoon hunting for replays. So Orgasmic Cry leads, but his tyres are coming very close to the end, with the Gaz in second. with Daniel LaRusso in third, but Daniel LaRusso going great guns right now, absolutely slinging Honda, and Gaz, he's going to have to be nervous at 48.5, so Gaz has not lost a lot of time from that damage to his car. He's maintaining the 48s, but Daniel's son's in the 47s now as the fuel dissipates. Oban, oh, racing here, medium now, medium under threat from Pigsy. Pigsy, who has no damage, is going mono with a medium GT. He's got the inside there, but medium GT cares less if he's got the inside line. He says, I'm going into the corner first, you're backing out of this one. Lovely intimidation move there from medium GT. No messing there. And Pigsy then just clinging on now ahead. Oh, I thought he picked up a penalty. So Orgasmic Cries into the pits. We knew his tyres were going. How is Matteo's tyres? Matteo's got that damage, but his tyres are okay. Jonty with his damage also. Gaz has got damage, but he's back in the lead, but Danielson is right up underneath him. It's 7 laps of 25 so far. No pit stops for the mediums. The soft runner of where's he gone? Orgasmic Cry into the pits. He's changed them, and he's heading back out again. So Orgasmic Cry back out onto the track. Hey man, I don't blame anyone. It's just, you know, I'm talking to Nifty now because Nifty was saying that Razorback, no, the MX-5 races are not being replayed as the driver list is too mixed, different every week, not set like the leagues were, and Nifty apologised for the mess with the replays thingy. I can't find the replays either, and Razorback saying, all good, Nifty. Yeah, no, I don't blame anyone about the replays. It's just, I think 2-3 people said they'd shared them, but I couldn't find them, so I was just like, oh. So Danny LaRusso, leading this race ahead of the Gaz, and then Oban in third. Oban, come on Oban, this is it. I've got a tingle, ladies and gentlemen. I've got a tingle right in my taint. It's a taint tingle that says that Oban is going to get a podium. Can you feel my taint tingle? Come on. Pigsy up into fourth. Pigsy has gone absolutely postal this week, and he is going for it. He's slaying pilots left, right and centre with his overtakes. Duffman there in fourth, medium GT, limping, ladies and gentlemen, with a damaged car. We know he can do a 48.6, but at the moment he's wallowing around in the mid-50s. Then, movement. Oh no, I said something good. Why did I say something good? Why did I compliment the Ferrari? Then it all goes to their head, and then it goes and meets a barrier. Oh well. Oh dear, and there goes Amtrak, his closest rival in the table, and Amtrak must have had a small smirk on his face when he saw the white Ferrari facing the barrier. And Pigsy then back down with his teammate, the Widowmaker, and all carrying damage. Yeah, why not? We'll all have a bit of damage. Matteo's got a bit of damage. Amtrak keeping it clean. 6th place so far. Like I said, being very clever with his championship. He's not risking a bean, ladies and gents. Medium with his damage. Then we've got Duffman chasing down Oban. These guys, no damage. It's a factor in this race, it seems. Gazman's got damage. It is, I mean, it might be the tyres now. It might be causing his tyre to drain a little as well. That tyre looks a little more worn on the corner of where it's saying his damage is. So, but it's not really affecting his time, and he's staying there with Daniel San, 48.1 for Danny LaRusso last time around, but his tyres staying together a lot better than our boy Gaz. Then Oban in that third, but he's got Duffman is a major concern. A 48.3 last time round for the McShady, and Oban there 49. 2, so a lot slower, just under a second slower than Duffman in this point of the race. Medium GT with his damage. Is Amtrak catching him? 48s from Amtrak, that is impressive stuff. And yes, Amtrak's going to be, oh, he's just picked up a penalty. I thought he'd gone a little wide in that corner, but you never know, you don't want to say it just in case. So medium GT then with that damage and being caught by Amtrak. Matteo now in, and he can fix his damage and change those tyres. Orgasmic Cry in 9th, goes easily past Matteo in the pits. John T, who has yet to pit, has gone through, and he's carrying damage in this race. So Pigsy did get quite away from his teammate. I thought they were going to be sharing the same piece of tarmac, but no, Pigsy moves on. And he's only losing points. He can't afford to lose points, though, in all fairness, ladies and gents, to Amtrak. I'm saying, oh, he's only losing a position, he's a 1 behind, but he really needs it. He was going for, wasn't he in 3rd? He was in 3rd, so he had 3 positions between himself and Amtrak, which is what he really needs in these races, especially the final 3 rounds. He's got to score big against Amtrak. I mean, we're only 7 points apart, but still, you want to get into an advantage before. You don't want to be trying to win the championship in the final round. You want to have the advantage, so Michael Massey can't mess you up. So Michael Massey, if you haven't already won the championship by the last round, then Michael Massey will mess you up. Look, I've got some wine gums in front of me. This is terrible because I really fancy eating one, but I don't think it's going to come across very well. Does anyone like ASMR? It's chewy. That's what she said. Oh no. Lap 10 of 25, ladies and gentlemen. Our medium GT's gone into the pits. He's had enough of that damage. It must be costing him too much. He's gone in what could be an early pit stop. Change the tyres, do some repairs. Orgasmic Cry should go through on the medium tyres. Danny LaRusso leading this race quite healthily at the moment. Tyres look good. Petrol looks good. Fuel looks good. Everything's good. Gaz carrying the damage, getting a lot of tyre wear on that outside left tyre at the front. Oban under pressure from Duffman. Duffman really is. He's laying the law. He's taken the fastest lap of the race so far, and now he burns past the Oban, but the Oban just slips in behind. I thought he was going to try and stay up the inside, but it's a tough one. It is a tough one. Bod Grob saying, I love a good wine gum. And Nifty saying, get about 8 in your gob at once. Think of the comedy. Yeah, you'd be all disgusted. There would be gagging. It'd be, your wives would all run into the room saying, what the hell are you watching? With me going, so probably best not to, as funny as it may well be. For your marriages, I won't. So a Gaz, or just a lot of sloppy sounds. Gaz in second, still deciding not to address the suspension and front spoiler problems that he's got front. Duffman then into the pits. Oban into the pits. We're having a pit off, ladies and gentlemen. Duffman and Oban and Amtrak. It's all about the pit crews. And Duffman then filling. So's Oban. It looks like Duffman. I feel Duffman's going to get out ahead of the Oban. The Oban's on the move. Duffman's now on the move. Who's where? Who's where? Who's where? Who is where? Oban. Is he behind the Duffman? He must be. He must be. Why would it show you in that order? That would be ridiculous. So Duffman, no, Oban is in front, you sods! Psychosomatic, anarchy-sane, bloody poly baloney. What was that about? Oh, you want to add your own drama to it, dear? I had the drama. So Oban then was ahead in the pits. It was a false call. And Duffman there in 5th. Amtrak in 6th. He's come out of the pits as well. Fresh mediums for these guys. Not for Oban. Oban's gone soft, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not a disappointment. It's the only time someone goes soft and it's not a disappointment. So Orgasmic Cry then back up to third. Gaz and the LaRusso still yet to pit. Daniel Son leading healthily. Lots of fastest laps on his rotor, so he's doing a superb job. Gaz has driven around his issues beautifully. He hasn't really lost a lot of time. I don't know if he had more time in that car. And Andrew saying, mouthful of wine gums. Yes, it'd be disgraceful. Maybe at the end when I say goodbye. Maybe the peace and love bit, I'll just shove a load of wine gums in there. So the Gaz then leads with Orgasmic Cry in third, with Oban fourth on the soft tyres. Gaz is in. Gaz is in. Gaz is in. Orgasmic Cry, is that another position? Possibly. Orgasmic Cry going great guns. He's even at great pace. Look at him. He's gone on to the medium tyres, and he has been stellar. He's put some great lap times in, and yes, I don't even know. Well, LaRusso's been. No, you know what? You know what? I don't even think LaRusso's going to be able to jump the Cry of orgasms. I think Orgasmic Cry is on set here to retake the lead. Oh, it's close though. No, it's close for him and Gaz. Oh, Gaz has gone for a sprint mode, ladies and gentlemen. Soft tyres, quarter of a tank of fuel. I would have put a bit more fuel in. But you don't, you know, that's me. I urge on the side of caution. And yes, so Orgasmic Cry, I hope he doesn't get dragged into this, because the Gaz is going total strategy. Total racing is what Gaz is going for here, in the middle of an endurance race where you want to try and make fuel and tyres last as long as possible. Gaz has gone psycho. Oban in fourth. He went for those soft tyres, a lesser fuel but half a tank. He's given himself some wiggle room, you see. Whereas the Gaz, he's limited himself. He's going out for a quarter of a tank stint and no more, no less. If there's still life on the tyres, that's tough titties. So Oban then in fourth. Duffman is in fifth place. He's gone for another set of mediums, so he's still got another compound of tyre to use before the end of this race. Daniel Son is in the pits, and unless he short fills and does the Gaz, I imagine Orgasmic Cry should move back into the lead of this race, even though the Gaz is closing in fast. It is a concern. We are half a lap away from halfway in this race. It's all about the halves, and he's gone mid-fuel, and the tyres we're yet to see. Softs, half a tank. Where are they? Orgasmic Cry is just about to get done by the Gaz. The LaRusso's out the pits. Ahead. He is ahead, ladies and gentlemen. He has done the impossible, and it's brilliant stuff from our point of view now, because the LaRusso on the soft tyres is going to absolutely have to nail qualifying lap after qualifying lap to stay ahead of the Porsche that's coming in hard and strong. Orgasmic Cry just not in this race at the moment, but no, and they've all used their two compounds. So Orgasmic Cry at the moment, their tyres are going to go off a lot quicker, but I think his pit stop and their pit stops are all going to be around about the same time. So it's going to be a straight fight by these top three. But at the moment, LaRusso and the Gaz have pulled off an absolute blinder there on the lighter cars now with soft tyres, and they are on their way. Orgasmic Cry, is he going to flint? Is he going to try and change up his tactic? There's nothing he can do at the moment. He's got to stay to the strategy that he's opted for. Now, I don't think those tyres are going to get to the end of this race, but maybe he's going to try and get as close to the end as possible to put on the soft tyres at the end, where Gaz and the LaRusso will, they might be able to double stint the softs. That's the thing. With the mediums going so long, they could double stint the soft tyre, where Orgasmic Cry's done his soft tyre, and then his double stint of soft tyre at the end, which is going to be the same tyres. It's a tricky situation, that one. Oban at the moment, he's using his first set of softs, and he short fueled it as well. Not as short as Gaz. How's Gaz doing? Look, the tyres are barely bedded in, and half his fuel's gone. And Danielson, I just think Gaz could have done with a little bit more fuel in this one. This strategy. Oban then in fourth. Then we've got the Duffman on the medium tyres, kind of just trekking on, really. He's just got to hope everyone shoots their tyres ahead of him and wait until he goes for his second stop to put on his soft tyres. Amtrak, championship leader, trying to box clever at the moment, but it must be frustrating because he's got no higher than 6th place, 5th place in this race, and he must be getting kind of concerned that the race is not coming to him. He's done everything right. He's kept the laps consistent. He's kept out of trouble, and at the moment he's not riding as high as he'd like, but more importantly, he's riding a lot higher than his closest contender, whom is Pigsy. We will try and catch up with Pigsy to see how they are getting on later in the show. Medium GT, we saw, unfortunate for Medium GT, solid podium position on the cards, I am sure, but he picked up a little bit of damage there and then got swamped by the McShadies of Duffman and Orgasmic Cry, and don't touch the barriers. That's the important rule of this race, is do not touch those barriers. Now Matteo out on the medium tyres. He went for that short stint at the front on the softs. Not that short really, he went quite away. But now on to the medium tyres and chasing down Medium GT. Now it looks like no one is foolish enough to try and get a one stop out of this. They all know it's a quick joint. John T in 9th ahead of Pigsy. So Pigsy somehow slipping all the way to the back. He's got the medium tyres on. He was ahead, I believe, of John T. Maybe even Matteo before the pit stops, but I'm unsure what the bejeebus has happened to Pigsy. He's on the medium tyres at the moment. I don't think we've seen him on the softs yet, so he's still got those softs to use. Danielson being caught by the Gazman, but the Gazman's fuel now is a flashing with 10 laps to go, and wow. But then even if he'd put more fuel in, he would have been further back from Orgasmic Cry, and all he would have done is caught up Orgasmic Cry. So I don't think really the strategy it was wrong in such. It just seems like a waste of rubber. Just feels wasteful, as the softs are just not ready to finish yet. But maybe he just doesn't want to do, he doesn't like driving on an old set of softs. Maybe he thinks it's too much of a high risk manoeuvre. So the Gaz, an interesting strategy. I don't think it's a wrong strategy, just feels wasteful with those tyres, but I'm sure he's going to pit, fill up, put some mediums on and run to the end, which for me it feels like everyone else is going to probably, they're trying to get a double stint of softs at the end. So we'll monitor this situation, but it does look like the Gaz is going to have to make a pit stop very soon. What do you think, chat? Anyway, look, I don't talk to chat enough. Chat! Do you think he's made an error, or do you think it's just it didn't really make any difference? He's going to do a short stint. He was always going to have to make another pit stop, so it doesn't matter that he's only half used his soft. So it's an interesting one. I can't work that one out, ladies and gentlemen. So Danielson leads. Orgasmic Cry then moving up and into a second place there with Oban. Well, Oban's used his. He's had to go in anyway, so really no, it's mute. Because I'm sure Oban pitted at the same time as Gazman. So Duffman then on the medium tyres has moved up into a position, and Danielson is doing magnificently on his set of softs, really. You've got to say, for the people around him. Now Orgasmic Cry's mediums are getting a little tatty, and Duffman there in third spot. We've got two McShadies in the top three, ladies and gentlemen. This is fantastic stuff. And Andrew saying, nice one, Danny. And Vodka Rob saying, how was his fuel? He only half-filled it, I think. And he only put a quarter in. He might not have even fueled. He might have just gone in and put a set of tyres on. Oh, what now? He's gone 3/4 of a tank, which possibly will get into the end. I haven't been keeping that close an eye. So I think he's running to the... Yay! Cold medium tyres, ladies and gentlemen. And an absolute speedy chicane is what that's all about. Gaz in a hurry, it would seem. Does he get a penalty for that? It looks like he might have got away. He might have lost too much time. Razorback saying it could be a good strat. Edward saying, good afternoon, you speed freaks from Can Do. Well, hello. And Carbon with a wave. Why, hello, all of you. Happy Saturdays, eh? What more would you want for a Saturday? So Gaz then So he's on an interesting strategy. We're monitoring. Pigsy is in 7th now. Matteo is all over the rear derriere of Medium GT. Medium had an absolute banger of a start in this race, but picked up a small bit of damage, got swamped by the mid-pack, and now he's trying to claw himself back up on top where he belongs. Matteo started from the rear derriere of the pack on a set of soft tyres. He's used both compounds. Medium GT hasn't. He's still the soft tyre to use. Whereas Matteo, he has a choice come his final pit stop. He's got a quarter of a tank of fuel. I think he's going to go for an absolute hammer and tong soft set of tyres stint at the end is Matteo. Medium GT, he's going to keep on going on those mediums and try and get a short stint of softs at the very end. Amtrak, I believe, has not used a set of softs yet. He's done a double medium stint, and he's chasing down Duffman, who also is on a double medium stint. Orgasmic Cry has used both compounds, so has the choice at the end of this race of which one to take. And Daniel Sun also has used both compounds of tyres, so he has free choice come the end of this race, or his final pit stop, should I say. Quarter of a tank of fuel, tyres looking absolutely splendid for Danielson. I just, you can't bet against him. The way he's keeping the softs in play, more so than anyone else has been able to, you've got to say this is a slam dunk. And it's unfortunate because this was Orgasmic Cry's day. It certainly was. Duffman, 2 McShady's in the top 3 in the Manufacturers' Cup. That says something here at Watkins Glen. And Amtrak then in the Porsche, in, more importantly, a couple of positions ahead of Pigsy. Pigsy, too far back, I would say, in this race now to make an impression on Matteo and Medium. Medium still not used the soft tyres. Matteo has used both compounds. Matteo coming in strong with Medium. Medium at the moment. Let's have a look at the lap time, shall we? 48.6 from Medium, 48.7 from Matteo. Nothing. They're shadowing each other, ladies and gents. This race is coming later, I tell you. I think they're saving it for after their pit stop. 48.2 from Pigsy. He's hunting down those 2 positions. Is there a movement there? The arrows looked very close together on that little map. That's how I monitor it, ladies and gents. That map in the corner. When I see arrows looking like they're on top of each other, I have to go. So Matteo then at the moment heavy braking for the speedy chicane, and makes it through. Lovely. And yeah, these two at the moment matching each other's pace. Pigsy also matching their pace as well, down in 7th. Not as much damage in this second stint. And oh, Gaz making a move on Oban, I guess, because I think Gaz was behind him, and both of these pitted, didn't they? So, or maybe not, I don't know. Let's have a look. Ooh, a 50.7. Oh, yeah, no, because Gaz had that big off, didn't it? Must have let Oban through. So, yeah, now Gaz retaking their position from the Renault. Yeah, both of these use their softs. They run into the end. I am assuming both these are going to run all the way to the end and hope there's a lot of pit stops ahead of them. But even if the pit stops do shuffle the cars behind these two, they are going to be coming at them on a set of soft tyres. Jonty on a set of mediums at the moment. I've lost track. I must say, I've lost track. I don't know if they've used a set of softs in this race. I think they may have done in the middle stint. Orgasmic Cry in. Orgasmic Cry is in. Is he going to go for a set of softs for the final 6 laps? He did struggle with tyre wear at the early doors there. Daniel Son, his fuel flashing. Duffman, plenty of fuel. He's not used, I'm pretty sure he's not used the softs, even though he's got good tyres there. He could possibly get to the end in all of that. In all fairness, I don't remember him using the soft tyre. So Duffman, I'm pretty sure, still is yet to use the softs, as is Amtrak. Matteo has got himself ahead of Medium, and Medium has got a penalty along the way. So my detective skills, I reckon Medium had an off. Matteo got past whilst he was off the track, and Medium picked up a penalty for his off. But no damage to the car, more importantly. So we're getting on that verge of pit stops. Are these guys going to duck in or stay on? Now, medium, his tyres are looking pretty short. So what did Orgasmic Cry go on to? He's gone on to the softs then, ladies and gents. And all importantly, he's ahead of the Gaz. Fantastic stuff then, Orgasmic Cry in 7th. Running to the end on a set of softs, but does he have to make some overtakes? Pigsy, I'm pretty sure, has to make a pit stop. So that's a position. Medium GT has to use a set of softs, so he's going to be in. Danielson is in. His fuel says he has to. Duffman, I'm sure he also has to pit for a set of soft tyres. If it's, no, he was just taking the corner nice and tight. I like it. Amtrak then has decided now he's going to come in and get his soft tyre on, as is Matteo. Matteo low on fuel. Medium GT fancies another lap. He fancies another lap. Now, he must be assuming that the person who he's fighting has gone in and to put a set of soft tyres on. So it's a big gamble staying out on an old set of mediums, because you've got to hope your in lap is going to be faster than their out lap. But we'll see. Duffman leads this race now. Duffman is in the lead, but we assume he's got to pit for a set of soft tyres. We think he's got to stop for a set of soft tyres. Medium GT continuing on, but will need to pit before I don't think he's used softs. Orgasmic Cry has used softs, mediums, and he's back on softs again. And he's hoping they're going to last him all the way to the end of this race. And I think he got a good 6-7 laps out of them in his first stint. So there's no reason to believe that the McShady cannot get those soft tyres all the way to the flag. But already up to 4th, remember, all of the pit stops. So Amtrak going on to a set of soft tyres. Oban hasn't pitted that second time yet. Matteo has. He's gone to softs. Pigsy's onto the softs. John T is on mediums at the moment. We know Duffman's going on to the softs. Danielson is on his second stint with softs, but he has done all of the compounds he needs to do. Medium GT is really getting those mediums is worth out of them. What Gaz didn't get out of the softs, medium's getting out of the mediums. Duff into the pits. Danielson then retakes the lead. And who's going to contest him, ladies and gentlemen? He's a miles ahead. There is no one. This is an absolute drubbing by the Danielson. He has crane kicked the field. Unbelievable stuff. Orgasmic Cry is in second, but he's got a couple of contenders behind him. Amtrak getting a move done on Gaz. Amtrak on those soft tyres. As Duffman comes out, we've got a whole traffic issue here at the pit exit of Watkins Glen, and Amtrak moving up to 3rd. And we said earlier he must be getting frustrated. This race hasn't come to him. He's done nothing wrong, and we've got Porsche on Porsche action here with the Gaz and Amtrak absolutely bumper to bumper with Duffman in 5th place, and he's on a fresh set of immediate soft tyres. And the Gazman on those mediums, it's going to be a tough one for him to keep up the fight. He's got to hope these softs bullet themselves before the end of the race as Duffman gets his tyres up to temperature and tries to go on the attack of the Porsche, and the Porsche trying to make himself as wide as possible. Great racing, ladies and gentlemen, great strategies. Oban there in 6th place. Can he close in on the battle ahead of Duffman and the Gaz? The Gaz on the slower tyre, but he's going to hope that these young guns do their tyres out before they get to the flag. Amtrak there up to 3rd, playing a blinder in this race so far, with Orgasmic Cry in 2nd place. Under threat, you've got to say. Under threat from the Amtrak, the way the Amtrak is going at the moment. Choo for the AM track. It is moving along rather swiftly, and Orgasmic Cry has many things to feel nervous about right now. Danielson has dipped, he's bounced, he has done it all, ladies and gentlemen. He is racing next week already. Orgasmic Cry in 2nd, Amtrak in 3rd. This is going to be a tasty little battle come the end of the race. We have three laps remaining. 22, 23, 24. 4 laps remaining. 3 laps after this. So Amtrak then slinging Porsche. Duffman is ahead of Gaz. As Gaz though, he still might be onto a winner here. I'm not sure though, with only 4 laps remaining, if the soft tyres will bullet themselves that quickly. And again, I feel, and I don't want to, I feel that if he put a bit more fuel and did those longer middle stint on the softs, he could have possibly put softs on at the end here as well. But he is chewing his tyres up. In all fairness, ladies and gentlemen, those mediums are quite ground up, aren't they? To say he's only had them on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 laps. 5 laps, and they already look like they're ground minced beef. Duffman's gone in 4th. Amtrak is now catching Orgasmic Cry. And why is it everyone's trying to ruin Orgasmic Cry's day? This was his day. Oh, Amtrak going quite late there. Side-by-side action, but Amtrak, I think, pulled out of it. Maybe Amtrak being caught out by the braking of Orgasmic Cry. His tyres are a lot older. He's half used his tyres, where Amtrak's are still quite fresh off the shelf. So Orgasmic Cry probably having to brake a little earlier for grip compensation there of the tyres. Very close to the wall for Orgasmic Cry, proper sending it in that final corner. Amtrak with a slipstream coming down to the first one. Is he going to try again up the inside of the McShady? And my word, poetry in motion. Ladies and gentlemen, that train just ain't stopping. Choo the Amtrak. Orgasmic Cry then in 3rd with the Duffman, all up and about his business. And now we've got McShady, we've got German on German action. And you know they make that best stuff for Orange YouTube. You know it's the German stuff that really gets wrong. So Amtrak stays ahead with Orgasmic Cry trying to keep the Duffman at bay, but Duffman on those soft tyres, newer soft tyres, sorry, than Orgasmic Cry. And we're having a murk off right now, ladies and gents, between the Orgasmic Cry and Duffman. Orgasmic Cry trying to keep the McShady in the middle of the track, but Duffman holds nothing back and he goes for it around the outside. Can he make it stick? And the answer is yes, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful move around the outside by the Duffman, up and into 3rd, and chasing down championship leader Amtrak, and Danny has dipped and left the building. Orgasmic Cry then down into 4th with the Gaz in 5th. Not a terrible strategy. I still believe, I'd like to know how he would have done with a bit more fuel in that middle stint and used those soft tyres a little longer. But Gaz in 5th at the moment. Remember, pole sitter of the race, with Oban doing a great job in 6th, but he's got Matteo coming in hard and fast in his Alpha on the soft tyre. So the Renault could be in trouble. And he's got a penalty, which makes that even more difficult for him. Pigsy and John T down here in 8th and 9th. And it looks like it just isn't Ferrari's tracks. Too many ropey corners for the Ferraris just to deal with. They much prefer easier corners, I'm sure. No, that's not fair. So Pigsy then in 8th, John T in 9th, with their dramas along the way. And I imagine by the end of the season, they'll be pleased to see the back of the Ferraris. Medium GT, oh my word, what go on? He's made his final stop, he's put the soft tyres on, but it's put him right at the back. And I really don't understand where he's lost the time. He did stay out exceedingly long on his original mediums, didn't he? Maybe he lost too much time in that situation. And I mean, the last 2 laps are 2:30 and a 2:16, so that's not great for. But the lap he put in is beautiful, 46.4. But medium GT, yeah, late. He's gone really late with his pit stops, and he's lost the pack somehow. Daniel Son is in 1st, Amtrak in 2nd, Duffman chasing him down. Duffman low on fuel, but it's lap 24 of 25. We are coming to the end. Orgasmic Cry, his tyres starting to look pained, but he's got a lovely gap from the Gaz behind. It might be enough to stay ahead. And Duffman all up and about Amtrak's business. But Duffman, does he have to watch his fuel for the final lap? It should be okay. And now we're on to the final lap. Well, Danielson has been on for 20 seconds. Catch up. Danny LaRusso, absolutely star player today. And took no prisoners out there. Amtrak showing why he's championship leader, and Duffman showing why he's a potential threat for that championship as he closes in, and Amtrak tries to defend, stays to the inside. Duffman says, doesn't matter what side I take you on, son, but Amtrak gets to the apex first. Amtrak stays ahead in second place, and Duffman maybe just trying to pressure Amtrak into a mistake there, and maybe wasn't really deadly serious about the overtake. Just wanted to push Amtrak into the chicane, where he's seen many people make a mistake before. Orgasmic Cry in fourth place. I think he's just driving for fourth now, and his tyres absolutely shot, with Gaz hunting him down, but a little too far back to make an impact. Matteo up to sixth from last on the grid. It's been a good day at the office for the Alfa Romeo driver. Oban in seventh, fuel low. Pigsy too far back to concern Oban, with Jonty too far back to concern Pigsy, and medium too far back to concern Jonty. So the LaRusso comes around the final corner. Ladies and gentlemen, a great win here at Watkins Glen in the Honda, and they are going wild in the pit lane. Great stuff from Daniel Son. Amtrak does manage to stay ahead of Duffman, it seems. Brilliant drive there, Amtrak. Championship kind of drive, second place. Beautiful stuff. Duffman home in third, and Orgasmic Cry in fourth. Great drive from Orgasmic Cry. Gaz has run out of fuel. No, he's I don't know, he just seems slow. And Matteo somehow sloops on by to get fifth from the Gaz, as Oban very close as well in seventh. Pigsy brings it around the final corner to go eighth, and that is a big hindrance in the championship table for Pigsy. Jonty coming home in ninth. The Ferraris, a real handful around Watkins Glen, it seems. So Jonty then bringing it on home, and I'm sure he'll be happy for the ordeal to end. Although second half of the race was fantastic. Look at his lap time, brilliant stuff. And medium GT maybe just stayed out too long on those mediums originally, but it's somehow put him on the back step right at the end there. I don't know, his out lap seemed very long. So medium GT there in 10th. But today, ladies and gentlemen, Daniel LaRusso blew us all away. That was a masterclass, ladies and gentlemen, a masterclass of Watkins Glen. And the Honda looked fabulous on its tyres. Razorback saying, hi, Edward, in the chat. So, I don't think I've got 10 wine gums. Right then. So that was a beautiful round by the O.T.H. again. As always, some of the best racing online that I have witnessed. Beautiful stuff from the Over the Hill Racing Gang. Razorback in the chat saying, great commentary as always, Thingy. Look forward to the next. Nifty says, thank you, Thingy. Great show. Oh, talking about the next, it's meant to be Tyre Shredders, but again, can't find their replays, so I've got to go in their Discord and say, has anyone shared? Don't worry, it's my issue, not yours. But yeah. I don't know what's next. Should be Tyre Shredders, but it might be URL's Wednesday F-Type series until I find the Tyre Shredders stuff. But as always, thank you for your generosity in the chat and the likes, all of that stuff. I really appreciate it. Yes, it's coming. And 2 more rounds left. I saw, hang on, I'll read them to you. I saw in the Discord, yeah, there's 2 rounds, right? It's Dragon Trail Seaside, Group 3 for 26 laps, and then Northern Strife for Group 4, 5 laps. So that's what we've got to come in the O.T.H, and then it's all going to be over for the O.T.H. We'll be doing different things, so I don't know what. It's all going to be new. Thank you for watching. Tooroo. Peace and love. Peace and love.